Okay, so yesterday morning, I woke up at like 6 to go have some time with the Lord. The moment I walked out of our little hut, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed because I'm just so happy. You know, that was even before we went to Sophie's house or anything else. I'm just going, God, why is my life so freaking good? You know? Seeing the women's home and the celebration and just everything about it. And knowing that I got to play a little part in that. And I mean, it was just, I've seen people celebrate before, but when you think about where those women were a year ago, they're in the red light district, living like sex slaves. Their kids are under their beds. Their rooms are about just barely big enough for a bed. Every night they would tell us they're just terrified because the next person that walks in, they don't know what they're going to do to them. For $5, and it's person after person, and just the nightmare that they lived in. And to think about that, and then to think about the way we saw them celebrating after a year of training and being educated, and something they never even dreamt of. They never dreamt they'd be out of that misery. I always dreamt of the day where you guys could see it, like where you would understand that Mom and Dad have made a lot of money in our lives, and yet, you know, I joke around, I wanted you to see where your inheritance went, but that's really the truth. I just thought, if my whole life, if the only thing I did was just give to that building and just help those, I don't know, 35, 36 women from the first graduating class, if that's all that I did with my life, I'd go, that's a good life. Man, I contributed, but it's just going to be hundreds and hundreds, thousands. I mean, there have been 2,000 women that have gone through that program already, and we're seeing them everywhere, working in the medical clinics now that we helped, working in the feeding programs that we helped in. Like I wanted you to see all of these things, and I think you'd agree now, oh, Dad, that was the right choice. You made the right choice. And so yesterday, I'm just overwhelmed by just the grace of God. Like in the Bible in 2 Corinthians 8, when he's talking to the Macedonian believers, he says, I want you to know the grace of God that was upon those Macedonian believers, because they gave out of their extreme poverty. Out of their extreme poverty, they begged us to let them contribute to the needs in Jerusalem. And so you got people that were extremely poor, and they're like, please let us give to you, because there are people who are even more poor than us. He's saying, I want you to know the grace of God on their lives. Like God bless them. So this is what I want you guys to get at your age, that I'm getting towards the end, and I'm overwhelmed by these last few days. Like I'm just going, this is ridiculous. This is mind-blowing. I am so happy. You know, you guys got to taste a little bit of, you know, when you're at Sophie's house, and you know, you saw the pictures of what she was like before, and now you get to see and hear from Grandpa and Grandma, and you get to see the tears in Sophie's eyes as she's probably understanding more and more of her own story, and then this whole little village coming out and blown away by the grace of God and how God sees them. And I'm just going, God, why do I get to be a part of this? Like, I promise you, people that spend the money on themselves are not this happy. There's no way. This is what Jesus meant. It is more blessed to give than to receive. See, I end my life head towards the end really full because I gave it away. And that's why Paul tells Timothy in 2 Timothy, he says, hey, command the rich to be generous. You know, be generous in good deeds. And the whole point is that they may take hold of life that is truly life. And I didn't understand the verse completely because Jesus, you know, was telling Peter when Peter says, hey, I gave everything. We gave everything. And Jesus says, hey, whatever you've given, you're going to receive 100 times as much in this life and in the life to come. And I thought, well, do you really get 100 times in this life? I believe in the life to come. But now I'm finally understanding at my age. I mean, one, yes, God multiplied our money, but it's like the fulfilling, the life, it's like 100 times more. You know, walking through the medical clinic and seeing these babies and knowing that several of the kids we saw today would have died this week if this place wasn't there. And to think we have a piece in that. Like, you're gonna tell me a nice car? I would enjoy that more? There's no way. Like these overwhelming feelings that some people will never feel. That's what it is about following Jesus. You think you're giving something up and you're like, oh my gosh, I really did receive 100 times as much. And then when it can be multiplied in your kids, you go, wow, okay, I can die a happy man. The next generation is going to take it because who knows what God's going to have you do. You may make 10 times what we made. You may be able to give away even more and figure out ways to live on less. I hope so. And at the end of it, we're going to stand before Jesus one day. And I dream of that day where I go, see, I told you it'd be worth it. You know, right now I can say, see, this was worth it. But there's going to be another day when Christ returns and he's going to say, come into my kingdom. And I'm like, what did I tell you? He always comes through.